Hi, my name is Pedro, and today I will tell you the history of how I made six figures in crypto, lost it all, and then made it all back. And well, to do that, I think I first need to tell you how I made some money to start trading, right? So it was 2020, 2021, in the middle there, and I needed to make some money, and I saw the NFT boom, and then I created a company related to art. And at that time, no one was doing it. And well, by that, I started DMing a lot of people. And from these people, a couple of guys replied. And yeah, eventually we start working together. I provide some stuff for free. They start liking it. And then, well, the company grew. And then, yeah, I got the money to start trading. What happened was, I was already trading, studying how to trade back in 2020, 2021. But I usually was not using my money until 2022, 2023, right? But yeah, that time I was with some friends, and these guys were very like good, very good traders, and they were talking about trading and like making all this crazy money, and I was like, damn, if I work for a year, I might not be able to do what this guy did in one day. And I was like, that's crazy. I gotta learn this thing. And what happened was, it was right in the meme coin boom, and especially Pepe. And I think it was end 2023, right? Start 2024 or something like that. That Pepe went like 10x. And I look at the Pepe going up, and I was like, okay, I gotta lock in. And I separated 30k. I think it was 30k or 20k to trade, and I put in a bunch of meme coins. And I already had like this rusty knowledge of TA back at the time, when I thought TA would solve all my problems, which it usually does not. Just letting you know. But it does help you to define what a good opportunity would be and to associate risk. Uh, Before I keep talking about the story itself, let me just try to clear something up. TA or any other analytics, they will never guarantee a result. The beauty of trading is basically the fact that you do not know what's going to happen. And by not knowing, you reduce your risk and basically try to increase your reward. And that's how you make profit. Okay? Okay, back to the story right now. So it was the meme coin boom. I had some knowledge of TA, so I bought my friend told me do not do more than 3x leverage, of which these days I do much more than that. But back in the time, I do understand that he was just worried of me losing the money, because I was the broke one in the group. So yeah, I 3x leveraged my entire account. I think I was like 60 or 69k long, and I was in Bonk. I was in meme, the meme land meme, and yeah, things just start going up like crazy. And I was checking the trend. I was checking the EMAs. I was checking everything, and I was like in my mind, I was, once it breaks the trend, I will eventually cut and I'll take the profits. And it kept going. And at one point, I was at 350k profit within a month. And I was like, oh, hold on. This is nuts. So, what I'm going to do is, as soon as my account reaches 400k, I'm going to cut it out and go flat. And that was the trap. Because what happened was, all the coins, when I was with 390 something k, all the coins broke the trend, the uptrend that they had. And I kept that feeling of, no, look, the trend broke, but I just need to wait a little bit more for it to go to 400k, and then I will cut everything. And it never went back to 400k. And I don't know if you recall, but if you were here back in that time, everything just nuked a lot, like 70-80% before it started pumping again. And it was my first like impact, right? And I was so much leverage. Like in the start, it was 3x, and then things kept going up. So I was keep adding and stuff. So within like, for it to go to 400, almost 400, it took like 1 month. for it to go to 400 to almost zero, it took me 4 or 5 months, I think, which was crazy because I was thinking like, if I had followed my plan, I would have the money and I could have invested in new things that are popping. So the main thing was like, sorry, the main thing was like not following my plan, but after that, I was thinking that a new opportunity is going to never come, so I gotta 100% extract as much as I can right now, which is wrong. A new opportunity is always going to come, and this is something that you eventually learn with time. And the main thing is, if something breaks your rule, you gotta cut it as fast as you can. Cut it, go flat, and then you go and eventually try to take another trade. And what you learn from this is that the most profitable traders that I know, most of the times they're flat. They're not buying positions every day. They're not just not. They keep months without trading, or they keep weeks without trading, and then they see an opportunity and they just go and sizing that opportunity. So the main thing is like, know when you need to be flat, and then in the start especially, it's very hard to be flat. At least for me, it was very hard to be flat. I would make some profit, and then I was like, fuck, I made some profit. I need to do something. And what happened is, you go and take a trade that you were not that convinced on, and you lose all the profits that you made. And that's a very big mistake. So one thing that you learn with time is that, first, identify a trend, and then when you identify the trend, minimize the risk that you have in the trade, and then just place the trade. Second, once your invalidation hits, you cut it, or if a uptrend breaks, if you're trading an uptrend breaks, you cut it. It doesn't matter how much profit you have, doesn't matter anything, okay? And third is that try to not re-enter any trade after, unless you see a clear opportunity, which sometimes you do, but most of the time you're just trying to following the same feeling that you had when you start trading, when you're in other positions. So going from a position and going flat is very hard. So this is, be careful with that. So try to always be flat as much as you can, unless you have a good opportunity. And fourth, and very important, if you were here in September 10, I think it was October 10, you know what happened, right? Every single altcoin, not every single, but most altcoins almost went to zero in a few minutes, which I was present, but I took a big hit, but that helped me to remember that, especially when dealing with leverage and everything, things can go tricky and very harsh very fast, and you can lose it out very fast. So what you do is, every time that you take profit, try to realize some profit out of the exchange or the decentralized exchange, or whatever you're using to trade. Try to realize some profits and put in other assets, okay? Being this asset a watch, being this asset a car, a house, even a dollar, bank, whatever, something that you have access in case your trading account goes nuts. Because once in a while, of course it's very rare, but it does happen, things don't make sense. One thing can go nuke by like 50% in a second, and this is going to wipe all your gains that you had in the past, and that's something that you should 100% try to avoid. Okay, going to stage 2 now. Moving, I told you how I lost the money. Now I'm going to tell you how I made it out back. Basically, I start just trading and just respecting myself and just having clear invalidations. For me, for me, what works is basically feelings, right? I've seen so many charts so many times, thousands of hours, and your brain, my brain, we are just basically AIs, right? If you think about this, the sense of how we learn things, we learn by repetition and reward. So if you do a trade and you see that your trade fails, your brain kind of understands that, okay, I should not do this. If you get a reward by getting some money, then you see, okay, I should do this. That's how it works, basically. So I've done this so many times that I kind of have the feeling of what I need to look for, the tools that I need to use, and how to minimize my risk. And the most important thing is understanding that you are never above the market. Every time you think that you're crushing the market, every time that you think that you're smarter than someone, you're probably going to get crushed and humbled very fast. So always be humble towards the market, okay? And never be sure of something. If you're sure of something, most likely you're going to lose money. It's never about being right, it's about making money. So just take your ego away, it doesn't matter. Just focus on seeing what you're seeing and being honest with yourself. If you see a trend and you think it's going to keep going up, wait for it to retest, wait for your confirmation for you to enter the trade, and once you enter the trade, just execute the trade. Have your there are a lot of people that say like you should trade only with like only risking 2% of your account or whatever. I don't follow that. If I feel like betting 50% of my account in one trade, I will do it, because I have the confidence that I can make it happen. At the same time that I'm aware that I might be humble if something goes south. But if something goes south, I'm also aware that I'm not going to lose as much money because my entry is good and I'm following my rules. So do you understand? It's this constant game of trying to bend things in your favor while knowing that things might not go to your favor. So eventually you need to start thinking about your risk. And that's the main thing, thinking about your risk when you're trading. And that's how I made all my money back, basically. I started trading consistently, and I started making like taking profits, eventually like sending it to the bank, and that's how basically how it will start working for me. But yeah, just be consistent. Do not betray yourself. That's the main thing. And one thing, always listen to yourself, okay? Do not listen to other people. Most of the cases that I lost money was because I was following someone else. And what happens is, even if the idea that they have for a token is good, token stock or whatever is good, if you follow them, you don't have the conviction that they have. So if something doesn't go as planned, you don't know if you hold or sell it. And because you lack the conviction, you're going to eventually sell it for a much lower price than you would have imagined you would sell it for. And that's how you take a big loss. So yeah, just follow your guts, trust yourself, and do not listen to other people. That's the main thing, especially if you're in crypto Twitter. There's a lot of people with a lot of opinions, and just like our boy Kobe said once, anyone can have an opinion about the market, but most people are not actually profitable. So we should not listen to most people, right? So yeah, that's pretty much it. I hope it helped you out on your journey, and I hope I was able to give you some advice as well. And yeah, just right now is just trading, also taking care of the business, creating some other new stuff that I'll keep you guys updated as well. But yeah, that's pretty much the story of how I made how I made 6 figures, how I lost it out, and how I made it all back. Cheers, take care.